I think Willie suggested it was a men's ring, but for the first knuckle on the little finger.
You've got your lens as well. It's lovely, isn't it? We'll get some forms out.
The other one. Where's the other bit?
So we could put, once we've got good photos of this, we can get the images of the intaglio to Martin Hennig, who will give you chapter and verse on what's being depicted, because he is Mr. Intaglio. It's very hard to tell what the stone is, just because unlike modern settings, it's solid at the back, so you don't get any light penetration. But colleagues may have a suggestion. It could be jet even, it could be all sorts of materials. It is very, very black. It doesn't seem to have any, like if it were a dark garnet or something, you'd still get a little bit of glow around the edges, and you aren't with that, so it might be jet.
Okay.
Potentially, which is used quite a lot in the Roman period. It's absolutely lovely. Very cute.
Yes, I've been looking at that most nights when we're home, having a little look at it. And
so, have you had anything go through treasure before?
No.
No. Okay. It takes a long time. I'll warn you now. The wheels grind slowly because it's got to go through a lot of hands and a lot of processes, and not everyone involved, it's not their main job for most people involved, so it sort of takes its time. It's not the main job for the coroner, it's not the main job for the curator who's going to sign off on this, so it can take a little while. But we're quite happy to chase up, and we're quite happy for you to ask us how it's going. If you haven't heard, it's probably because we've got nothing to tell you. But we don't mind if you ask, because that's what it might nudge us to nudge someone to find out if anything's moved on,
because the landowners,
because we wait to hear as well a lot, so a lot of what we do is waiting to hear back with where it's got to in the process. But if you've got any questions, or the landowner, just get in touch. We'll ask on your behalf, or we'll tell you what our tracker says.
Thank you.
In terms of where we've got to.
He's asked a few times already, so how's that ring getting on? I've not even given it in yet, Charlie.
Okay, sorry, we've got a few in at the moment.
Should we do the forms?
If you do the,
don't see the.
We're going to need 2 forms.
Put
them in.
One for the entry. One
you need
entry
two, because if are they from different places?
They are from next field over. So,
right, they need 2. They're going to go through. They're 2 different periods. One entry form, two treasure forms.
Yeah,
that's really cute, isn't it?
Yeah, so that took hours and hours of research. At first, I thought it was a pipe tamper, but I found. Is it passant spoon?
I saw you sent a photograph. Yeah, brilliant.
And I'm assuming it's from the top of I think Edward VI era, silver spoon.
Isn't that absolutely
It's a shame
lovely?
It's not attached to the rest of
it. Yes. Where's the rest
still
of it?
Nice though. It's lovely.
Yeah. The fact it's still got the gilding on it, it's really nice.
Yeah. No, it's not that. Although, as you come across quite a lot of Roman things, is that a quillen? Is it Roman or Iron Age? Or medieval? Sort of a dagger quillen, I was figured.
It could be. But it's made of lead alloy, which would be slightly unusual at any date. That's a lot of lead in there. I'm going to say that's fairly recent, post-medieval or modern. That one.
The reason I thought it might be Roman is because it was found about 30 years from the ring.
It's not.
Yeah, great. That's good
Material-wise, it's not quite right, and
So this.
Oh wow.
Was found.
Okay.
In the same hole as these.
Yeah, it's all mixed in, isn't it?
So I got a big signal.
Okay.
I dug out a bit of this. I thought it was just a bit of sheet copper alloy, so I filled in the hole. Another signal. Took the sod out and got another piece of that out. Another signal.
3 times it was in that hole.
And I got them out, and I covered it up again, and one more signal. And I thought, I nearly left it because I thought, I'm just going to be another piece of that, but I thought I'm going to clear up all the scrap out this field or whatever. And that was in the bottom. I don't know if this classes as a hoard, because it's more than.
It's whether this is contemporary with that that's going to make the difference. Let's take it in as potential treasure. So we'll have to take this one in as well. So we'll do, but it might not go any further. So this what we'll do first off with this is get it all photographed and get it sent off to Ed Caswell. It will be probably via the treasure team to get an opinion on whether this sheet metal works with this cast, because obviously sheet metal's a different thing to the castings that you do for axes and spearheads. It's a different technology, but whether this is in any way likely to be with that.
So
We could
that
do,
back in the middle.
yeah. So if you put that.
Yeah,
I
so
always
there's
give
a
them the
fresh
back
treasure
one.
seat. Oh, we've all got the pink ones at our office. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think you're right, the back one would make sense because you just ripped
I
that
don't know
one
what it
off.
says. It
but
says something on the
you've got
front.
a
but
pen,
I'm not
would you
sure.
like this?
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
So we're going to need some bags again. Actually, we've got
These
some
are
tissue
fine.
as well. That's a beauty, that,
Oh, I can
isn't
tell
it?
it's
Sweet.
fine.
Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah, didn't quite believe it when I pulled it out. I walked over to that, didn't I? And I said, "Is this what I think it is?" And you're just like, "Oh my god!"
You thought at first it was a Victorian spike off of a railing.
Well, only because why on earth would I have found a beautiful
a spearhead in the middle
Bronze
of
Age spearhead or Bronze Age or Roman, whatever it may be.
Bronze Age.
Bronze Age, yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
I am wrapping these up
How many
together. Four fragments of sheets,
So that would
copper
have been
alloy.
the 10th of August 22.
10th of August, thank you. 10th of
Don't panic
August
about the
8th.
14 days for treasure, because it's at the point at which it's recognised as treasure, which has become practice, but is in the new code of practice for the changes. It's now in there. That sort of wording or something along those lines is in there, which is great, because you can't, until somebody says that might be, you're not going to know, are you?
That's right, yeah. So that's probably a much better way of doing it, actually, because like you say, you're not 100% sure,
And it gives everybody that scope for checking and getting advice, doesn't it?
Circumstances are fine, depth is fine.
Okay.
Right,
I'll put those in. I'll put them in
another
a
bag.
and then in there. I always say 4 months turnaround for me. So I do mine every 4 months.
Yeah.
Keeps you sane.
What's this? 12.5 you are.
Have you sort of found that it's catching up a little bit since the COVID backlog?
Yes and no. Treasure
got a
backlog
number?
is still quite big for everybody.
Is it?
Well, things like the British Museum was basically, most of the staff were furloughed for 18 months. They didn't go back until November 22.
Oh, wow.
So consequently, there wasn't much happening in the conservation lab. There wasn't much happening, anywhere. So they've got everything to catch up on anyway. And coin hoards in particular have slowed down because if they have to go to conservation, they're in a queue. And if you can't do conservation from your laptop at home, you've got to be in the building. So while they were furloughed, stuff like that. And they don't let you take the hoards home either to look on, to work on and stuff like that. So that's sort of it. That really put same for us.
Yeah.
I could work on stuff I was emailed, but the fines were in my office.
Oh, okay.
And I was at home, so it does create a backlog and the problem with the backlog is once you've got a backlog, you've probably got a backlog forever. And whilst I feel like I'm catching up, on my fines days have all come back on stream. I'm doing them the same pace I was before. I restrict people to 10 fines per person, whereas previously I was taking in what they brought me. But if I took the first 3 people through the door, would have brought me a year's worth of work. So I'm trying to see lots of people with small amounts rather than a few people with a large amount, just to keep the kind of interaction going. And then as that relaxes, I'll be able to take in 20 fines or relax that limit. But I'm still on it at the moment. I find I need it. I had 12 people at one's fines day, so that's 120 fines right there.
Yeah.
So that's not an insubstantial amount.
No, definitely not.
You've got a gouge.
I have. I
Was there
found that
anything else from that field before we go any further?
No, nothing this.
Nothing Bronze Age.
Okay. Oh no, yeah, this was from 100 yards from the Roman ring, so this is from another field.
Okay.
Completely, and yeah.
So that will need to
You're
come in,
reaching for
but it's
forms.
not. It's not treasure at the moment.
Right. So I was just going to query. I found it a year ago, and I've not cleaned it yet. As you can see, it's still.
Yeah, I would leave it.
I'm scared to touch it.
Yeah,
Really.
I wouldn't clean it because I
So-
would. You've got a little bit of possibly active corrosion there. So if you do anything to clean, you might accelerate that. It's got quite a nice patina under that, but this dusty green is usually indicative of active corrosion. So you need to keep it in a humidity controlled situation. So a properly sealing Tupperware tub, preferably with some silica.
Right. I've been keeping it actually with a couple of big things of silica actually.
Which you will need to dry out because it sits in there and it absorbs all the moisture. So you need to take it out and microwave it. Weigh it, microwave it. If it's lighter when it comes out than it went in, you've got rid of the moisture. And then or stick it on a radiator to dry out.
Yeah.
And then put it back in and it will start taking the moisture out again. The problem is over time it will become saturated, it will. And it's not self-indicating anymore. It used to go from blue to pink.
Yeah, it's just a bag. Now,
But it's just a bag now. So the only way to do it is to heat it in some fashion on your radiator or in the microwave and then weigh it, and you'll weigh it first and then weigh it afterwards and the water will have gone, and then pop it back in. But is that acid free tissue, do you know?
I don't know. I'm afraid.
Yeah, we've got some.
I'll give you some acid free, and keep it away from moisture because that's what's causing that to accelerate now.
Right. Yeah. So I noticed it. Well, obviously, yeah. That's happened. I've sort of tried not to touch it, but
Yeah,
I was worried that it had sort of bronze disease or something.
it's moisture's the key. Moisture's the killer in these circumstances.
In modern housing, it's just full of moisture, isn't it?
Yeah. There's a lot of so as dry as possible. So a really good sealed proper box, and then keep that silica ticking over. You can probably get by silica. We can send you a link to the conservation guide. It's on the PAS website actually. Is it under the county pages guides? Can you make a note to some? Oh, because Peer to Greaves did us a thing.
Otherwise,
That's online. That's a really good. Oh yes, that's the one. Yeah. So that'll give you some information. I think it's probably got suppliers and things like that as well.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll be able to.
Oh, wow.
So this bag, once you put it into your tub with your silica gel, just put a few holes in the bag so that the moisture comes out of there. But keeping it as dry as possible.
There's nothing more really exciting. There's but I was hoping only if you got 5 minutes. I've got a load of lead bits that are all found within 50 yards of the Roman rim. And I know some of them are going to be heavyweights and whatnot. But, I've also found this Roman, I think it's Roman steel yard weight. But I was just curious as to what these were, because they look like they're just, I don't know if they're lead or what, but it looks like they've just been moulded into something.
Yeah, that someone's been casting lead, and what you get is the bit in the bottom of the whatever they've melted it in. It will just take the shape of that. This is just pooling of lead. Yeah, so somebody's been casting lead there, not far away. I suspect these are just weights, and as you say, hem weight type of things that are sewn in.
Great.
That's another steel yard weight.
Would that be Roman? Or that's possible to tell you.
Lead fines.
Because steel yard, they don't change that much. Those two are possibly the most dateable out of all of that.
Okay.
So next time we can see about those, because they have either had a line through them, but they're a bit big for line weights, or they are steel yard weights. But the problem is it's easy to work lead, relatively speaking, in terms of comparative to other metals. So it's readily melted down, and there's kind of a limited number of shapes you're going to make with it. So they can look the same, unfortunately, at a lot of different dates.
That makes sense.
But I would say most of this is fairly recent. But yes, so maybe those two next time.
Excellent, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And this one coming back into.
Yes, that next time as well. Yeah, the gouge ray, definitely, because it's lovely.
There's
Great.
other stuff in there, but
Yes.
I know that
Yeah.
there's not all the time in the world, so
And yeah,
that's next
we'll
time.
be
I'll-
Very
Not,
happy.
but thank you.
You're getting really interesting stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, be more than happy
Please
to
come
look.
back.
And send photos as well. If you're going to send photos, a couple of or several views and a ruler for scale, always helpful. And we can sometimes comment just on the photos, and then you'll know what to bring in next time. Oh, that's lovely. That's an early axe. That's like a low flange type. So this is early Bronze Age.
I found that
This one.
about 50 centimetres away from it.
That's
Oh, I saw your
more recent.
email
that.
about that.
Yeah.
So that was we said that was more recent.
Yeah. Yeah,
The
19th
decoration
century.
is-
Aren't they hilarious, the beasts, though?
Yeah.
Oh, they're fabulous.
It's almost like somebody put it there to taunt me.
Yeah. Oh, I
Got very
really like
excited that you
those.
had some
It's all
Bronze Age something or
hand
other.
done, the engraving. It's not machine done or anything. So it
Oh, that is very
could be
nice.
sort of 18th century maybe. It's quite cute. But that's definitely our remit, this one here.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's cute.
That's silver, but I wasn't too sure if this
Date-wise.
was date-wise. Yeah.
Okay, let's do that one. Yes, that's treasure.
It is.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So these this sort of geometric design, you'll find it in Brian Reed's book.
Yeah. I've
But these
done
and you'll find several of these on the
Is
database
that-
with that sort of square pits and geometric kind of
I've done some
Yeah.
Google reports before. Yeah. they're-
sort of reserves of silver, and then they've decorated in between. Sometimes you get a little scratch mark on the band at the bottom that gives you a name or initials for whoever owned it, but that looks like a little bird almost, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It might be a stamped letter. And sometimes you also get a maker's mark, so you'll get a silversmith mark on there, but there's not.
Oh, on the bottom band.
Yeah. And somebody's had the top off it.
Yes.
But that may very well only have been soldered into place, so it was a natural break point that would come away. But yes, that's definitely treasure.
Lovely.
What sort of age would you say that was?
Post-medieval, sort of 17th century probably,
Okay.
into early 18th maybe, but 17th. Oh, I've got Okay. Mike. There's a rock.
Yeah.
That is cute.
Pilgrims then.
Bijou rocket.
Man.
Oh, it's a couple of years ago in it's a complete one as well.
Jeez.
Butt of a.
I've never actually seen a complete one in person.
It's like Phil from Time Team. He's like, whoa.
I used to sit opposite him at Wessex Archaeology.
It could be one of these late Neolithic bifaces. But
It's very tiny.
yeah.
Do you think it is a stone tool though?
It is,
Yeah,
yeah.
It works, but it's what it is.
And I mean, you do get very tiny Paleolithic hand axes sometimes. But I don't think that's right for.
The patination's not right for that date, and it's a bit too.
But as you get into the late Neolithic, you get some other tool types.
Experimenting at them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's had a little bit of battering and broke at this end. That's probably what that's a more recent. The patination's really different on this
Yeah.
flake. It's
That
not
might be original
not-
flake surface.
obviously. Oh, I don't know.
Are we saying that's the cutting side?
This was
That's probably a very subjective.
yeah.
Yeah.
If it were an axe, then you would have a cutting edge, and generally speaking, it's the wider end of a hafted axe would be
Yeah.
the cutting edge. But this is a bit more, bit knifey, really, maybe.
That sort of.
So these are your cutting edges. So they're making a knife,
Oh, okay.
and they're just working along both edges in both directions. So you've got lots of removals to create that edge.
Yeah, yeah.
And quite what's going on at the butt end, I don't know.
What these things are for.
Yeah, that is an absolute beauty. That very definitely wants to come in. That's lovely. Interesting, this cross-hatching up there. Yeah, I have to see if there's some parallels for the design on that side. So this side is the shell,
Yeah.
imitating a shell, which was adopted from the pilgrim symbols from Santiago de Compostela. The symbol was a shell for that shrine. And so that's what it represents early on. It comes to represent pilgrimage in general, because it's the nearest really big, important site of pilgrimage that you could probably get to from this country, rather than in the Holy Land, which would be considerably further. So Santiago was like a very big centre for pilgrimage. Big numbers of brownie points when you go there.
Canterbury, that's.
Yeah, and so you would have. There's almost like a. Well, if I go to Santiago de Compostela twice, that's probably the equivalent to going to the Holy. Do you know what I mean? There's almost that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And these symbols, these things that are picked up, yeah, part of that. You would wear badges on your hat, and you would bring something like this back with holy water in it, probably.
Because you can see it's been pierced.
Yes,
on the
they're
front
often
there.
cut or pierced,
Yeah.
so they then use the holy water when they get back.
Oh, okay.
So they're often just sliced straight across. Someone's been very careful with this one, and it's been used for whatever purpose. This is lovely. This little low flange job. This is an early Bronze Age one. So it's just got the beginnings of flanges being beaten on the side, and also a bit of a stop bridge.
Okay.
So there's sort of technological development from flat with nothing on the sides, just a cutting edge. They find they need something to grip better on the haft, and a stop bridge so that it doesn't push back into the haft when they use it. So that's where you end up with pulse staves and then ultimately socketed. So there's lots of, it's kind of, it's going through. This is your iPhone 1,
isn't it? Yeah.
So basically that's what's going on, those little adaptations and changes, and people find ways to solve a certain problem. But that's a beaut. It's very, very nice.
Brilliant. I was hoping you might be able to tell me what this little fella is. Which to me looks like Christ, but what it would be used for, or it was also...
Oh, it is. It's a bit of a crucifix. And it's gilded. It's medieval. Yeah, it's a bit of medieval crucifix.
Wow.
It's a big one. They're often a lot smaller than that. We could probably narrow down the date for you once we've got it in, because there are stylistic changes over time in terms of the way the facial features are depicted and that sort of thing. So his halo's got a bit squashed, but he has got a halo. Yes, that is a bit of crucifix.
Wow.
It's rather nice. Those pellet eyes are probably useful, and a bit of the beard's been delineated nicely as well.
Well, it's funny because when I cleaned it off in the field with mud, I saw that image of the Shroud of Turin looking back at me.
Yes, it is.
Blimey, that's almost
it's
just
that,
like it.
Yeah, it's really lovely. Yeah, definitely that one too.
There's a little
Again, Rob will be all over that like a ram.
strap end there, which I'm unsure of the date on, which I'm hoping you might be able to help me out with that one.
Oh, isn't that nice? Yeah. So it's going to be medieval. It's going to be sort of 14th, 15th probably.
Oh wow.
Random in size decoration, which I quite like. I don't think we can make it into letters, but you might do with a bit of time. So it isn't quite been done symmetrically, although that is there. So so it's been quite crudely decorated, which I like. And the attachment hole's slightly off centre. But yes, it's so medieval
Are they signs of earlier kind of metalwork then? The cruder it is, the more off-centre the hole is.
It's absolutely down to the workshop involved and
Yeah.
and what people are prepared to pay, what you can sell it for. So you use more expensive material, so you gild it if it's going to be sold for more money. So it's that kind of thing. Copper alloy is often quite crudely decorated, and you'll find silver slightly better and gold's better still. So it's an investment of skills and time, dependent on the certain amount of it is on the intrinsic value of the material you're using.
Okay.
But I quite like that. They may have come undecorated and people have decorated them locally to local tastes or on request, or so they could very well come without anything on them. Oh, that's a sweet little matrix. Oh, he's popped out of the bottom.
Yeah, there's a little hole in the bottom.
Oh, look at that. That's elaborate, isn't it?
No, that's nice.
Oh, there's a little horn, little curly horn, and
Yeah, I've been unable to trace what that would be.
no,
She said it looks a bit like a trumpet, didn't we? Like a trumpet
yeah.
or
There's a
brass
little
instrument
trumpet in above, and then I don't know what the whirly thing below. It's all a bit fancy and rococo. So, and looking at the handle, it's probably Georgian.
Okay.
Looking at the style of that.
Yeah.
But it would be worth taking in and doing a bit of research on, seeing if we can. And it's quite nice sometimes to get the slightly later ones on the database
For
because
comparison.
for people to compare to. Lovely.
At that moment we realise that it's red silver.
I'm just wondering if you might know if that is something.
Oh, these are coat hook things.
Are
Yeah,
they?
yeah. These are Victorian. Yeah,
I did
yeah.
think it might be.
We get these quite a lot. Yeah, it's a coat hook.
Okay.
I had some in very early on, and I mean, like the year 2000. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
When I was first working in Dorset and Somerset, I used to cover Somerset. I had one like this in Somerset, with this little
Oh, it kind of
beady
yeah.
eye, and it's Victorian coat hook.
Is that post-medieval, that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Looking at the style, yeah, that again is probably. I don't think it's Roman. Put it that way. With the two little integral lumps. Yeah, and it's been white metal coated as well, which is not unusual for Roman either, but I don't like those fixings as Roman. So I guess that could be 18th century, probably horse furniture.
Would they have been
That
looped
kind of thing.
around at one point and broken off?
Yes, I think they've been probably pushed through, and it's either furniture or
Yeah.
it's or horse harness decoration.
Okay. Yeah.
Drawer fronts and things like that, you get them on, but they're not dissimilar from the stuff you get on horse furniture.
I think that's a little merchant's ring. I don't
Is that
think
Andy
it's
Elliott
Roman.
out there? I'm just wondering if you want to do his
Yes,
stuff.
I was starting to think. That,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. If he comes in, if you move that away and Brittany can sit there. Ooh, yeah. So great big letter on it. I've had similar things before.
Yes, I thought yeah, to do some
What
forms
is that
as
letter
well.
meant to be?
I think it's an R.
It does look like an R, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's very
But
stylised.
often with the leaf and things on it. Yeah, so post-medieval sort of signet ring, and it
Yeah.
probably is used as a seal, given how deeply cut that is.
Yeah.
It's made to make an impression. So that would be worth bringing in next
Perfect.
time as well.
And just the last one, because all the rest I pretty much know what they are, but
But all of these are worth recording. This,
Oh, really?
This definitely.
yeah,
Anything
there's
up
lots of
to
little bits
oh,
like that.
loads
Harness
are lovely. Yeah,
decorations,
harness
yeah.
pendants. Anything up. We have a cut-off date of
Medieval?
about 1700. Yes, I think so. That's probably a bit of harness pendant as well, because you get them where they have like an open work frame and they have a little dangly quatrefoil cross in the middle, and that's probably what that's from. So you've got quite a lot of horse
it's an eagle
furniture.
one.
Yeah, yeah,
And there's quarterfoils,
yeah.
dangly
All
ones.
of the what a lovely little group.
Yeah,
Oh, these are nice. Yeah, yeah. All of these are recordable.
medieval.
Post-med, that one.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah, so these come up as 17th
Yeah,
into 18th century. We've got a paper on those now that we can use. That's a piece of purse.
that's a purse bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only other thing was there was that, which I'm convinced is Victorian, but obviously
Yeah,
it does
I think
depict
it is,
the,
yeah.
the Roman soldier.
Yeah, that's a relatively recent. It's quite fun though.
Shoe or knee buckle?
It's quite big for a knee buckle, shoe buckle, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. 18th century
Perfect.
one. Yeah, so the chapes on them are quite useful because it meant you'd have a set of buckles that you would move between your shoes. So you would just take these off of one pair and put them on the other. So they're not sewn on. They're attached by these chapes. So sometimes it's got like a button on it that you push through a hole in the leathers, and sometimes it grips into a, and it would just allow you to take them off. But when you weren't wearing those shoes, you could put them on another pair, or at the end of the life of the shoes. They're not stitched on. They're transferable.
Sorry, that was just the last thing. Now, this is either...
Oh, these plaques, yes, we do get these. It is medieval. We do get them, and they're often enamelled as well. This one doesn't look like it was. Well, there may have been enamel in here. I don't think there was here. This may have been gilded as well. And then you've got gilding on the stars, and then there would have been enamel round there.
Yeah.
So that's a heraldic plaque. We do have some on the database.
Wow.
So that will be worth a record too.
Okay.
Or you've got most of what you've got here would be worth a further record.
Yeah.
It's a shame we can't take it in now.
No,
but I just don't want to overload the new person.